This is Wilson Miles from Black Film TV talking to Damien D. Smith, one of the stars of the recently released film Driftwood. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing? How you doing, my
Good.
brother? Good to be here with you.
It's good. This is one of the rare films in which you're one of the lead stars as opposed to being supporting or a part of an ensemble. Obviously, you're top of the call sheet. What did you to take on this project?
You know what? What led me to take on this project is the director, Neal Tyler. Him and I have worked with each other before on another project. Well, actually, a short that he had did, and I really like that guy, and I really like how he commands the set and how he interacts with his actors. So I wanted to work with him again. He hit me up and saying, "I got a role that's great for you. I would love for you to come play with us again." I read it and I was like, "Hey man, anything you're doing, let's rock and roll, man." And I'm happy I did so because it was a great group of people that we collaborated to make this happen.
How would you best describe the film and the character you play?
Well, you know what? I will describe the film as again, it's billed as a psychological thriller um, slash thing. So the character I play is someone at peace who's looking for peace and 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 and, and have made it to a point. That's his most. That's the main thing. He's made it to a point, and it's time for him to take his fate into his own hands after a while. So, but he's here for as he is in nature. My character's a counselor, and I think he's the counselor for the film, pretty much like the heart.
Okay. When you take on a role, I like to ask all actors, there's got to be something in the script or the character they play that they can relate with. How do you relate to the character you're playing?
Well, it's interesting. This character had he was a counselor and had so much trauma when dealing with at risk youth. Dealing with kids who need a second and third chance, and that tethers in a ways to the soul of the people who actually are getting the help and the people who are giving the help, and they go through a thing because that's it wears on you. So I kind of related to that because all of the advocacy and the counseling work that I've had to do throughout my years of being, a manager of at-risk youth and doing all these type of things. It does wear on you, and it kind of and you need to be replenished as much as possible. So I definitely can understand his plight and what he was going through when we were filming and his character arc.
Now, there's some physical work that's required in this movie. Did you have to get in shape knowing you have to do some physical work?
Yeah. All to the extent of the physical work. Yeah, I made sure I toned up and make sure everything was pretty good,
Was
man.
that
But
you or a stunt double?
oh no, that was me. That was me running from that and dodging and beeping. It was me in my shoes, and they kept on moving. I and suspense thriller slash horror type of scary movie. The brothers don't make it out.
Hmm.
So you gotta have to keep it moving.
Your co-star in the film. How did you guys get along and putting this together? Had you known her before, or was this the first time you were working with her?
This was my first time working with her. Jen is great though. She's very cool. She's a violinist, so that was like we got to bond over music. I love music. She plays music. She loves music. So we got to talk like that. And if you like from seeing the film, you see it's she and I are really just together for a while and navigating this journey. So we in between takes we got to bond over music and jokes. It's always a jokester after, especially the heavier the scene, the more the jokes you're gonna have.
Now, you mentioned earlier you worked with Neal before. Is there anything you got from him on this particular film that helps you skill set wise as an actor moving forward?
Yeah. First, the passion in which people are executing their projects, like and Neil's passion is unmatched. He loves what he do, and he's going to make it happen by any means necessary. And that was kind of one of what attracted me to the project. Again, we working with him before, but him just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna tell my story. I'm gonna exhibit my art as much as possible," and that see through and getting things and seeing things through that really stuck with me and made me want to champion his story even more as much as possible.
Now, I always talk to, whenever there's a lot of movies out there, was it streaming, on cable, on TV, was it not, you go to the theaters, it's all about the market. Doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, it's whether or not people know about it. What's going to get an audience to see this movie?
What's going to order us to see this movie is that if you're into a psychological thriller, you want to see some action, you want to see some running, you don't know who's gonna, what is the reason for it all. This is the type of movie you want to see. It's going to engage you intellectually. It's going to have you at the edge of your seat, and it's going to, you're going to have a good time. And it really embodies the heart of an independent film. So with that combination of things, I think that's attractive enough for people to get together. And I like the story.
Now, you've done other work as a producer, as a director. Obviously, people who may see your face, they say, "Oh, that's that guy from Snowfall." What makes you decide to do films on either spectrum? And do you have this? Is it the timing? Is it the role? Or is it the location?
Well, you know what? It's a combination of both and all. For different aspects. So in front of the camera, it's the role, it's the character, it's what was he saying, what is he portraying, and when it comes to the stories that I tell as a director, it's what's passion. I'm a more of a passion director. I'm afforded the opportunity to be able to be in both worlds, so I'm able to kind of pick and choose what I want to do and how I want to do it. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, that's why I'm happy about it. So it's the passion behind whatever story I want to tell. That's how, as a director in EP and projects, that's what navigates me. If I read something and it emotionally affects me, and I feel like I can tell the story and make it land with the people, the audience, and what I'm intending it for. That's how I choose what stories I go after next, either documentary or the narrative form.
Is there anything you're working on now?
Yeah. I'm working on a couple of things now. One right now is we're in production with a documentary, Searching for Officer Friendly. I'll tell you more about that later. And just waiting for a film that working on. Okay. And it's a narrative Victory High. I'm circling back and getting back going with that one too. And if you're gonna see it in production pretty soon.
Is there anything else that we're going to see you in front of the camera?
In front of the camera right now, what's coming up is 9. The 9 should be coming this year, from my understanding from speaking to the producers. This film is a sci-fi, again, psychological, spiritual production. Not spiritual, but it's witches and things like that. It's a co-production, but it's a joint production. I'm sorry, between the U.S. and Ghana. We shot this film 90% of it in Ghana. And it's an interesting story, man. It's called The 9. Check it out. It's gonna be hitting out soon with Chris Otto and the lovely Rosemary Zemo.
In the meantime, we got Driftwood to promote. Obviously, congratulations on the role. Congrats on the film.
Thank you.
We'll be looking forward to see what you do next. Thank you.
Oh man, hey man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all over at Black Film and TV, baby.
All right.